I'm excited to be able to welcome on one of the top 2023 guys and Fred Payne. What's going on today, bro?
Good, good.
For sure, man. Well, you're coming off a big time year now. You brought some college offers in, but one of the biggest things now is you were part of Max Prep's honorable mention All American for the freshman class. What was it like just seeing your name in that group?
It was good because I worked hard for it, so I really deserved it.
Absolutely. And you look at just what you were able to achieve in your first year. Just talk about your ups and downs of the very first season of high school for you.
Coming out of high school, well, freshman year it was hard because everybody doubted me. They thought I wasn't gonna play as much. My coach don't even start freshman, so coming out as a freshman and starting it was a big move.
And there's a guy on your team this past year that a lot of people obviously know in Chance. What was it like just kind of playing with him and learning from him?
Yeah, that's in the gym late nights every morning before school. He really inspired me because it's like my big brother. So we had a close bond on the court. So I mean, yeah, he gonna be big.
And he's a guy obviously doing what you eventually want to do, and that's going to Division One. He's going to be a guy going to Buffalo. He's a big time player. How do you kind of look to grow into becoming a guy like him, if not even better?
Because he have a dog mentality. So he always taught me to be a dog on the court and never take it easy.
Mm-hmm. Take us to the first day you met him. What was that day like?
First day I met him, we was going there to going there to practice or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I followed him. We had got into a little argument. Ever since then, we had became close and stuff.
And you see what he was able to do this upcoming year. This past year, he kind of was the leader, the senior star of the team. With him not going to college, it's going to kind of open up who the next guy is, and it's most likely going to be you. How do you look to kind of become the go-to guy next year?
Because now I gotta talk to my teammates more and kind of fill his shoes up because he played a big role in our team last year.
And you are at Lincoln Prep. Just to kind of decide, why'd you decide to go to there?
Because I had Ruston High, but I had to look at the coaches, see was it a basketball school, see my future.
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln Prep was a choice because you see I got offers and stuff, and Coach AD he was basically a good coach.
And you guys were able to make it to the semifinals this past year. Just what was it like having that kind of successful year?
It was good, but I wanted to win, so I was hurt. Then I had to think about it. I do got a few years like they told me, so yeah, you can't win everything.
Absolutely. And now for you personally, you just said you have 3 or so more years. Your guys already bringing in Division One offers, and you're going to have a lot more spotlight on you now. Is possibly going to one of the big schools or a prep school or something that might interest you down the road?
Yeah, it's some might be coming real soon.
Mm-hmm.
Prep school might be the move this year.
For real?
Yeah,
That's big time. And when you look at possibly building a legacy for yourself, and that's something that going to prep school, going to one of those things is a bigger spotlight on yourself. What would it be like to possibly just get that spotlight on you?
once I go to the prep school, I want to build a team around me because basically I want to be a point guard, but I want to be a scoring guard. So I got a lot to learn, beginning to end of my 3 years.
Absolutely. And for you personally, I can imagine there's some big time players that you kind of look to in the NBA that you kind of model your game after. Who do you say some of those players are?
I got James Harden because he's left-handed and I'm left-handed, but I can go right. So I got James Harden, Kevin Durant, and I got to give it to Kyrie because I like how the way he just finished at the rim.
Absolutely. And when you look at developing now over the next couple of seasons, becoming a legit Division One player, how do you kind of look to grow in there? What's some of the biggest things you're going to work on that you'd say you need to improve on before you go to college?
I need to improve my handles, coming off ball screens, and timing to play more. It's a lot of stuff I got to work on. Got to get stronger because I'm not big as I want to be right now. How college players is, I'm kind of small, so
Mm-hmm.
to the goal, big guys, you got to bump them a little bit. So yeah, I got to get big.
Let's talk about your 2023 class. It's It's a class that a lot of people have high hopes for. I mean, it's a very deep class. It's a very loaded class. What's it like being part of this class?
I mean, we got a lot of talent in our class. You got Mikey, you got Jalen Curry, you got Robert Dillingham. It's a lot of shifty guards.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, we got a loaded class. 2023 gonna be a good class.
And something special about you guys is the social media aspect of it. It's pretty much a new era of basketball, and there's never been a guy with a million followers play high school basketball before. There's two guys just in your class, as well as a lot of the high-profile guys. What's like kind of being a part of this new era, social media kind of class?
I mean, it's actually a good thing because our class, I think we got one of the best classes. Like,
Hmm.
this 2020 class is good too. So, but I think I'll be a little better than 2020. So.
Absolutely. And we look at you. You're a guy coming off a freshman year. You already have two offers down, New Orleans, Grambling. Just what it mean to have those two offers at this point?
Man, I'm blessed to have the two offers because it's not a lot of freshmen that always just get offers. But I mean, when
Hmm.
coach told me when you put in the work for it, it would always pay off. And I mean, that what it did. So
And that's the other big thing. I mean, it's rare for any freshman to get it. You guys, have you got it without even having to play AAU yet? What's it been like over the past couple of months, just having these offers come in and knowing that you haven't even had to go through the AAU process yet?
I mean, it's good. So now that I play AU, I know I can get more offers because I really haven't been playing like
Mm-hmm. Let's kind of discuss those two offers. The first one, Grambling, HBCU school. We know the whole trend with that. How attractive is a potential HBCU school down the road for you?
that. I mean, I can see it because Black Lives Matter, and yeah, so I don't know. HBU school, it might be a good commit. It might not. I don't know. You gotta look forward for it.
Absolutely. And we see a guy like Maker, the first five-star ever to go to one. When you see a trend like a guy like his caliber commit, what do you think that's going to have an impact on now in future classes?
I mean, since he went, I think it's gonna be a lot of people that go to a HBCU school now. Cause like Mikey said, don't nobody know what school you go to. Cause yeah, that is a big move for him. That
Mm.
was a big.
And if we see a guy like Maker or whoever else wants to join guys like them and go HBCU route, if you see Maker and whoever else go pro after a year or two at HBCU school, does that make an HBCU school a lot more realistic place for you?
Yeah, it do. It like open up more because I mean now I see people can go to the league out of any school if you put up numbers. Like,
Mm-hmm. What would you say would be the biggest downfall potentially of going to HBCU right now?
it's probably NBA coaches probably don't look as much as like Kentucky and Duke and like all them big schools. That's probably like the biggest downfall.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And the other big school you got one of your first offers too is New Orleans. What do you like about them?
They stay in touch. I mean, that was my first offer, so I was kind of excited for it. Yeah, they got a nice program. I mean, cool coach. I know Coach Jay from there because he coached Louisiana Elite
Mhm.
before I, so I already knew him. And he's a cool coach. Work out, get up in the morning, make sure I run. Yeah, it's nice.
And take us to that first day when you found out that offer came in for you. How'd you learn about that offer and take us to that day?
I mean, the first day I had, I think I was supposed to been have it, but my mama didn't say something about it was supposed to be a present for Christmas, but I didn't know about it. So I think I had got up. Gremlin offered me, but I was going to say Gremlin was going to be my first offer, but my mama had been told me New Orleans had been offering me and they didn't tell me. So I couldn't say it was my first offer. So I had to know about the New Orleans offer. So they had told me about New Orleans, so I've been had the New Orleans offer that I didn't know about. So, I mean, I was kind of blessed. I was excited, woke up kind of happy, had a good day, talked to Coach Jay, talked to Gremlin, and they had offer.
That's awesome. And now I can imagine you might heard some other schools have interest in you. Who are some of the schools you might be hearing have some interest in you at this point?
Ole Miss. I just talked to Ole Miss. I talked to Baylor. I think they say Memphis called.
Mm-hmm.
I had my first letter was Texas Tech. Who else? This coach had said he had talked to Will Wade. Yes, coach had told me a lot of schools have been calling and talk. He had been talking to him. So yeah,
And you mentioned a couple of schools I want to touch up on. One is LSU with Coach Will Wade. That'd be staying home. You could be the hometown kind of guy. What would that be like, possibly just representing your hometown and staying at LSU?
that would be good though, cause like LSU like one of my top schools besides Memphis. LSU one of my top schools. I did want to go to LSU at first. That was one of my top schools. That would be a good decision.
And they also have a hometown guy in this 2020 recruiting class in Jalen Cook. What's it like possibly becoming the next him?
Jalen Cook, that's some big shoes to fill. I mean, that's my guy too. He had told me like I'll be next up, cause I had played Louisiana Elite, and I was the guard for 15U, and he was 17U. So I mean, I watched him a lot. I had learned a lot about him, how he on the floor scoring, and being the floor general. He had told me a lot. So I mean, yeah, it would be a nice shoe to fill.
We also mentioned Memphis as one of the schools you've always loved. They have a coach out there that's played in the NBA and had a Hall of Fame career in the NBA, and Coach Hardaway. What would it be like to just be alongside a coach that's ran your position and done what you want to do someday?
I mean, that's Payne. He's a great coach. I mean, I always watch him. I look into Memphis. I just like the way the school is, how they play. I always watch how the way he coached. I know his son, Ashton. I know him from I think Payne is where he was at, and May. I had seen him, so I know his son. And kind of cool people. But Memphis, yeah, that's a great school. I've been looking at that since like a year now.
Okay. Another one you mentioned is Baylor. We saw they just brought in the number one overall recruiting class in 2021. When you see all these big-time five-star prospects keep going to Baylor, how much more appealing does that make a school like Baylor?
I don't know. I actually had worked out with a Baylor commit not too long ago in Houston. I think I forgot his name, but he's from Houston. He played with Houston Hoops. He's a Baylor commit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a nice school though. It's a nice program. Went a Louisiana kid trying to put his name in the draft from Baylor. So yeah, I see it.
That's big time. And you did keep mentioning you're from Louisiana. They might not have as much flash as some of the big states do. There's a lot of talent in there. We talked about Chance. We talked already about Jalen Cook. What's it like being a part of Louisiana?
It's big because Jalen Cook and Chance, they both had a great season. So I mean, I do want to have a good season too. Like them, Louisiana, it's like Louisiana. Don't nobody really look at Louisiana a lot as far as like big cities and states. So put a name for yourself. It's big.
Without doubt. And I mean, let's also just talk about MSH TV camp. You did that before coming into high school. And that's really one of the places you started blowing up at. What was that camp like?
That count was great. I mean, I love that count. It's just like you have freedom to do what you want. MSTV camp to get invited to. I used to watch them all the time on YouTube. I always want to go to the camp. So the camp was actually fun. That was a great camp.
That's awesome. And you also mentioned you are back on the court. You got to play some games now. What's it like playing with them?
We got a nice team. We got some bigs. They actually played last weekend. We played 16U. We actually won 2 games and lost 1. So, I mean, yeah, I see we having a chance to Peace Jam. I see a lot of stuff this year, if they have EYBL session.
What was it like just getting back on the court?
It was great because, I mean, I always wanted to play. But I have been in Houston on the court with pros and overseas, but playing my like lead and stuff, it was great. I always wanted that.
That's awesome, man. My last one before I let you go is you also want to build a legacy for yourself over your high school, college, and pro career. By the time you walk away from the game someday, what do you want that legacy to be?
I want to be like the hero of Louisiana, like the legend of Louisiana. I want kids to look up to me, kids to be like me. I want to inspire kids to be better, be a man, not always just – it don't always have to be about streets. I mean, if you take your talent to basketball, you can be successful. There's many ways you can be successful: working, basketball, football. It's a lot of ways. I just want to be like a leader. That's
Mhm.
all.
That's awesome, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you can come on, my guy, and can't wait to see what God's got next for you, man.
All right.
Man, talk to you later, bro. God bless.